Hello everyone, I am Leena Vaghode. Today I will discussing the part 3 of water resource engineering. In my previous video, I explained the different types of irrigation system and their different methods. So now I will start the different methods of irrigation system. In that, the subsurface irrigation and overhead irrigation system, both the methods are explained in my previous video. So let's start from the surface irrigation system. Okay, the in this method the irrigation water is flooded over a field to a few centimeter, and to control that flow the surface is first then smoothened. After that, it will modified with the borders, furrows and corrugations, etc. Okay. The borders means these are the strips. Whenever we provide the surface irrigation, then the field is subdivided into number of strips, okay, called as borders. And furrows means these are the long narrow trench which may be dug into the ground or field. And the corrugations are also small furrows. Okay, so by modifying with the borders, furrows and corrugations, the surface is first then smoothened, and after modified, uh, or the surface irrigation, it is also distribution of water in the field by the gravity flow of water over the soil surface, and the soil which acts as the growing medium in which water is stored, and the conveyance medium over which water flows as it spreads and infiltrates. So in the water resource engineering, the different types of surface irrigation system used, there are many different types of surface irrigation systems are used. So here is see this figure of surface irrigation system. Okay, so the this surface irrigation system can be done by the following four methods. Okay, next, first one is controlled or free flooding method. Second is controlled flooding method. Third one is furrow method, and fourth one is drip irrigation method. Okay, so let's first see the uncontrolled or free flooding method. Okay, this method is generally useful for newly established farms where making furrows is very costly. Okay, so where there is a unavailability of furrows, or unavailability of furrows, then this method is generally adopted. That is free flooding method, and it is a cheap and successfully used when the water supply is in plenty use. Okay, so this method consists of applying the water by flooding the land of rather smooth and flat topography. In this method, the water is applied to the land from the field ditches. Okay, from these field ditches, the laterals are also taken across the field. See this figure. From the field ditches, there are various laterals provided here, and these laterals, which are taken across the fields at a spacing of about 15 to 45 meter, and these laterals run along the contours. The water flows out through the openings in the laterals to flood the field. Okay, on the other side of this field, a drain ditch is provided to take away the excess water, And to divert that water from main to laterals, generally earthen dams are used. Okay, but sometimes to divert that water from main to laterals, these steel shutters are also used. And this method is generally used for the newly established farms where there is making furrows is very costly. But one disadvantage of this method is there is no perfect control over the flow of water. It is difficult to attain the high efficiency. So this method should be adopted only when there is a flooding methods. When there is other flooding methods are impossible. Okay. Next is control flooding method. Okay. So in this method, the irrigation water is applied to the field in different quantities at different types, and thus the flow control is of a steady type. Okay, and in this control flooding method, the water is supplied through the various methods like border strip method or border flooding, basin method, check method, and ditch method. Okay, so let's first see the border strip method or border flooding. This method is suitable on the field where the soil is sufficiently capable to absorb the water. Okay, see this figure showing border strip method. In border strip method, the overall land or field, it subdivided into number of strips. Okay, and in this method the field is divided into number of strips, and the width of strip varies from 10 to 15 meter. Here is the width of that strip. It may vary from 10 to 15 meter, and length varies from 90 to 400 meter. Okay, and these strips are separated by the low embankments. These are the embankments. Embankments means it is a wall of earth to provide a river flooding an area. So when there is a flood over that strips, so to provide that flood, there is a small wall constructed here called as low embankment. The water is then diverted from field channel into strips. The water flows slowly towards the lower end and wetting the soil as it advances. The surface between two embankments should be essentially be leveled. Okay, so between those two embankments, this surface should be it should be properly leveled, and due to this, it helps in covering the entire width of strip. There is a general surface slope from opening to lower end. The surface slope from point 2 to point 5 is generally adopted, and this method is suitable on the field when where soil is sufficiently capable to absorb the water and to divert that water into strip. Okay, and to cut off the surface water supply after the whole strip is flooded. A gate is also provided in the field. Here is a drain provided. Okay, in the field channel at the head of each strip, extra water is generally removed from the strip by means of a collecting drain. Okay, so by this collecting drain, the extra water removed from that strips, and it is collected at that collecting drain, and this collecting drain, it is provided at the other side of the strip. Okay, next is the basin method. So in this type of surface irrigation, the water is directly and rapidly applied uniformly at a uniform depth until it infiltrated into the soil. Okay, this is the figure here, which shows the basin method of irrigation. In that, the basins are excavated for each and every tree. These are the basins excavated here, and after that, these basins are filled with water. Okay, so in this method, the basin is first excavated for each tree or plant, or one or more trees are placed in the basin, and then water is applied over that. And these basins are generally connected together by shallow drains for filling the water in individual basin. And okay, so see here, these basins are connected by shallow drains for filling these individual basins. Okay, and this method is generally adopted or suitable for the orchard trees. Okay, orchard means it is a piece of land planted with fruit trees. Okay, so in Marathi we say it as Falbaga. Okay, so this method is generally adopted for the orchard trees. Okay, next is the check method. Okay, so in this method, the relatively level plots are enclosed by small embankments. Okay, so the plot which are enclosed by small walls or small earth walls. Okay, and the irrigation water enters the closed area and subsequently floods it. Okay, and this method is very suitable for small soils having high permeability. The reason is that the water is quickly spreads over that entire area before it goes deep and below the root zone depth into the ground. Okay, and joins the water table. And due to this, water loss due to infiltration is prevented or reduced. And this method is generally adopted for it is best suitable for heavy soils also, because in heavy soils water absorption rates are very low. The land can be kept flooded for longer time till the sufficient water infiltrates into that ground or field. Okay, to fulfills the soil moisture deficiency. So this method can be subdivided into two groups. Okay, which depends on the mode of embankment construction. First is rectangular check and second one is contour check. So in a rectangular check, in this system, the embankments are constructed to enclose the rectangular area. Okay, and in contour checks, the checks are prepared by constructing the embankments along the contours. Okay, so the embankments are constructed along the contours, having the vertical interval of about 10 to 15 centimeter. Okay, and in this check method, generally 0.2 to 0.8 hectare area is preferred or better, and the embankment which are enclosed along along the plots should be about 25 to 30 centimeter high, and width of that embankment at the base should not be more than 2.5 meter. And this method is generally used for grains and forage crops. Okay, so for grains and forage crops, this method is generally adopted. Forage means in Marathi we say it as chara. Okay, and last one is ditch method. This is the In this method, it is a form of controlled surface flooding. In this method, the irrigation water is distributed from ditches running across the slope approximated on a contour. Okay. Uh, Ditches means these ditches are used to drain out the water, and the water is directed from a small bunds provided on the either side of laterals. Okay. Next are the furrow methods. Okay. So in furrow method, water is applied only one fifth to one half of the land surface, which results in the less evaporations. Okay, and it is the oldest type of artificial water application. In furrow irrigation methods, there are many ways how crops can be irrigated. Okay, by applying artificial water. Means either it by drop or sprinkling or applying the water on the entire field surface. Okay, so each type has its own irrigation system, which mainly differs in the way how water is applied to the crops. Okay, so their overall efficiency among that, one of the oldest type of artificial water application is furrow irrigation. So this furrow irrigation is actually surface irrigation, in which water is applied to the field from the open ditches or pipes through the small channels or furrows, and the entire field is divided into in furrows, which carry the water through the field, and these crops is generally grown on the ridges between the furrows. Okay, so see this figure which shows the furrow irrigation system. So in that, water is applied to the field from these open ditches. Okay, so from open these open ditches, the water is applied to the field, which shows in the figure of furrow irrigation system. So this method is further classified as four methods: graded furrow method, contour furrow method, level furrow method, and corrugation methods. Okay, so first let starts from the level furrow method. Okay, so these are the small irrigation channels with blocked ends laid out with little or no grade. The water applied using a large stream until the furrow capacity is filled. Okay, so the level furrows are best suitable for the crops which are grown in rows on beds between furrows, as well as for all the climate areas. Okay, see this figure, level furrow method. Okay, and this method is suitable for crops which are growing in rows on beds. Okay, so this type requires very extensive land preparation and careful water management for the successive operation also. Okay, but the main advantage are easily adjustable water amount according to the crop needs, and reduced runoff. Okay, but besides the advantage, there is one disadvantage also. For example, in efficiency of the system in areas of high wind, wind lodging water may damage some crops, and furrow capacity cannot hold the rainfall water here. Okay, so second type is a graded furrow method. Okay, so these are also the small irrigation channels in a straight one. Okay, in a straight line. parallel to a field boundary. Okay, so parallel to the field boundary, these small irrigation channels are provided here in graded furrow method, and these are used on all soil except sandy, which has very high intake rate and provides poor lateral spread of water between the furrows. Okay, this furrow type also requires well leveled field with little or no slope and high human labor. Okay, next is a graded contour method. Okay, so in graded contour furrows, these are also the small graded irrigation channels with uneven surfaces. Okay, see this figure of uneven surface. Over that, the small graded irrigation channels are provided here. They are mainly used on the surfaces where it is not practical to use the straight furrows. Okay, and when it is not practical to use straight furrows, the furrows are curved to fit the field contour, and these types can be used on all slopes and soils types except sandy and sandy soils which crack easily when dry. Okay, so next and last furrow method is corrugation method. Okay, these are also small closely spaced irrigation channels used to irrigate the close growing crops. Okay, and the irrigation water is applied through the small channels or corrugations evenly spaced across the field, and due to their small capacity, channels need to conform to the field slope. Okay, and these corrugations are also best suitable for the areas with low rainfall on the soils that tend to crust and for the growth of high density crops. Okay, okay, so next is the drip irrigation. Okay, so this drip irrigation is also called as trickle irrigation. In It is a drop by drop irrigation system, and it in this system the most efficient water and nutrient delivery system for growing the crops. And in this system, the irrigation is done by using the small diameter plastic lateral lines, they called as drippers or emitters, and it is suitable for the areas where there is a actual scarcity of irrigation water. Okay, so when there is a actual famine period or actual famine situation, at that time we can provide this trickle or drip irrigation system. Okay, in this system the water is directly applied to the root zone of plants. Okay, so to the root zone of plants the water is applied through the drip nozzles when are placed at the interval of about zero point 0.5 to 1 meter, and these emitter discharges the water through these emitters. See this figure. Through that emitters, it discharges the water at a very small rate, like such as 2 to 10 liters per hour. Okay, so per hour there is a discharge of 10 liters here. See this drip irrigation system. There are benefits of some benefits of this drip irrigation system, like it saves water. Okay, So by providing this system, there is in it saves water. Next is improves growth. So by providing this type of irrigation system, the growth is rapidly and improves that plant growth. Next is discourage weeds. Okay, so when water is only delivered where it is needed, so at that time the weeds cannot grow, and it results in discourages the weeds. It also saves the time also, and helps to control the fungal diseases also. So next, hope you understand this video. uh, Thank you.